I got a flashlight here from Brightex Technologies. This is a newer company, up and coming company. I looked this company up, and I'm going to tell you right now, this isn't one of them fly-by-night companies. And this specific flashlight, they had an independent test done from the Underwriters Laboratory, which confirmed that this flashlight, this XR-700, what you're looking at, is a full 700 lumens. And this Brightex Technologies, they're not another private labeled flashlight brand like solid standard flashlights and just changing the label on them. They designed this specific light, and from what they say, it's to give the max benefit to the consumers. So I'm kind of anxious as to tested this and do a review on it. I've had other flashlights where companies have given their like lumen rating, and they've fell way short, so it's nothing new when you do see a fairly new company in that. But we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to end up doing decent beam shots and comparing it to a couple different flashlights, find out just what this is all about. Now, this does come with the US made XML U2 emitter in it. It is as you can see there, has an aspherical lens in it. It is a zoomable flashlight. You got 5 modes on this, which is high, like I said, 700 lumens, and that'll run for 2.5 hours. Then you have a mid-level 385 lumens that'll run for 5 hours. And what I find fascinating is even on low, 110 lumens with this 26650 battery will run for 15 hours of runtime. And you're putting out a lot of light there. Build quality on it seems very good. Very heavy heat sink inside, as you can see there. Very decently well-made rear clicky, not just a little spring like some lights. And it has multiple battery options. Number one, run it off from 4 AAA batteries, which are very common, in a sleeve to slide in an 18650, and then it comes with Brightex 4600 lumen 26650. The one thing I want to show you with that 26650 battery from Brightex, it looks like an Ultrafire, but we're going to weigh it, and it's talking 3.06 ounces. Here's another battery from a different company. This is 2.3 ounces. I mean, you're talking a heck of a difference there. And from the testing, I tend to believe this battery from Brightex is putting out close to 4,800 milliamps. Very heavy battery. What we're going to do is go outside and take the lux meter up against this light. We're going to do some comparisons between that Brightex and a Shadowhawk X800. Everybody's seen the ads for that. And I'm going to throw in a Through Night TN12 2014 edition. I generally throw this in on everything just to give an idea, and then maybe up against some car headlights. So I forgot to add in, it does come with actually a quite high quality 26600 battery charger, and it will charge, say, 18650s as well. And of course, nice little lanyard. All right, I got my lux meter 4 meters away from me up against my porch. We're going to go ahead and shine this Brightex on high at 4 meters, and we'll calculate the throw. Notice there, it gives a square beam. Let's check it out. Alright, I just calculated that up to 177.98 meters of throw, which isn't too bad for how wide that beam is. Do the lux on them other flashlights, but we're just going to go ahead and do the beam shots, and you'll get a good idea. Alright, I got a tree 62 meters away, and this here is right there is the Brightex at 62 meters. Again, the Brightex 62 meters. And that is the Shadowhawk at 62 meters. There's the Through Night TN12 2014 62 meters. Brightex 62 meters. Shadowhawk 62 meters. Through Night TN12 62 meters. Now we're going to move down to 94 meters into a tree. There's the Brightex at 94 meters. Punching out pretty good. Broad square beam though. Shadowhawk X700 94 meters. Through Night TN12 2014 94 meters. Brightex, 94 meters. TN14, 94 meters. Right now we're looking at a hillside upwards of probably about 200 meters out. Way back there, of course, is 3. But it is hitting that hill at roughly, I'd say, pushing 200 meters. There's the Shadowhawk at same distance. Through night TN12. It's got about the same throw, but of course this thing is just well over 1,000 lumens, 1,050 lumens. And this is on turbo. That will drop off rather fast. So when you're looking at that Brightex, this is going to stay on for 2.5 hours. And trust me, it stays on a long time at this brightness. That's one of the big benefits. Now if we go back down this way, if you can see there's trees, that tree line up there, right at 190 meters. Or 140, I'm sorry, on down is 190, but it's still hitting out there. Now we're going a little closer, about 20 meters away. You look at that beam on that. If I were to broaden it up a little, it's pretty nice. It fills everything. There's the through night. Of course, that's non-zoomable. I mean, the Shadowhawk. A lot tighter beam on that. Now, I'm going to zoom that all the way out. It's pretty dim once you zoom it out. I just don't have a punch. Now normally I'll go up against the truck headlights or something like that, but it's getting cold out. And I got the camera set up so it's pretty much mimicking what you can see with the unaided eye. And here's that zoomed out. Actually not all the way. That's zoomed out all the way. If you can see, it just lights everything up. Tighten her up a little. Pretty nice. What I was saying on low, there's medium. That is low. Of course, it's playing with the camera's 30 frames per second shutter. So that don't really happen, that flutter in there. But even on low, 15 hours of runtime with this damn thing. And then you got high, of course. I would say one of the biggest selling points of this light is that good battery and an extremely long runtime for its size and how bright it is. There's the TN12 on turbo. Really like that, of course. I throw that in every one of my videos. There's the Shadowhawk. That's zoomed all the way out on its highest setting. This is a Shadowhawk. And there's the Brightex all the way out. Got a lot of light coming out of it. True 700 lumens. Pretty nice. Now, the only thing that I can see on this light that I personally would rather see is a tighter beam, but I do believe Brightex did what they did for the simple reason of you have an extremely good flood, as you saw there, but it does hinder the throw. If this was a tighter beam, this thing would probably rocket out a lot farther for throw. It's a very good all-around flashlight, and I would suggest checking that link out down below for this light, and better yet, maybe just look at their website. Very strong company. It looks like they put a lot of thought and effort into their lights. Very well made. Quite a few battery options, which I really like. All around, pretty damn good light. So there you go. The Brightex XR-700 LED